Hello, welcome to More Yoga with me, Emily. Thank you so much for joining me today. Having one of those mornings where I sat down and said the first couple things that I was going to say to teach, and then realized I didn't press record on the video. So, woo, let's have a class where we can kind of center in a little bit. And if it, for no other reason, then it will help me. Hopefully, it'll help you as well. I always have some props handy just for my own sake. If you have pillows or blocks or even Tupperware containers or a folded up blanket or something like that that you could use, it's generally quite helpful. If you don't have them, no big deal. So find a tall seat. You can be cross-legged like I am, or up on your shins, or even legs outstretched, whatever feels comfortable. Anywhere you can find a long spine. And sometimes sitting up on a prop could help sort of give you that lift and the pelvic tilt. And for 3 breaths, inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Your breath away. A couple more, just like that. Continue breathing however you need to, whether it's in and out through your nose or your mouth. You might gently close your eyes if you haven't already done so, unless you feel your eyelids flickering or if it doesn't feel comfortable, then a single point of focus for your eyes on maybe the floor or the wall in front of you. And then notice your breath and start to observe it. Notice where in your body you might feel your breath today. Notice how it's flowing. And inevitably, thoughts will start to come in. And just gently acknowledge them, but let them go. And then come back to your breath. Last few moments here. And then maybe even keeping your eyes closed as you inhale, start to lift your heart up to the sky, a little squeeze of the shoulder blades. Exhale, round through the spine. Maybe even pulling through the shoulder blades. Inhale to lift the heart. Exhale to round. So a few of these seated cat and cow undulations on your own time, and they can be really slow and unctuous, or it could be sharp and fiery, whatever you need. On your next inhale, come back to your tall seat. Pause here as you exhale. Start to draw circles with your torso down and forward. Inhale back up. Exhale down. Inhale up. And these can be as deep or as gentle as you need them to be. Your head could stay long on the end of your neck, or you could let it flop around. Keep going in the same direction. And on your next exhale, gently switch directions. And you might start gentle or might go deep right away. It might feel really different going one direction versus the other. Last few this way. And then on your next inhale, pause back at the top. Gather your equilibrium if you're a little bit dizzy like me. If you've been sitting cross-legged, you might switch the crossing of your legs just to balance out the neuromuscular balance. On your inhale, lift your left arm high, right fingertips out to the side. And exhale, so a little side bend over to the right. So as soon as we do this, this shoulder creeps up and this hip lifts up. So drop the shoulder down and drop the sit bone down. You could press into the right palm or fingertips to get a little bit more puffing into the side ribs on the left side of the body. And then try not to collapse forward. Keep spiraling those upper left ribs open to the sky. And then on your next inhale, come back to center. Switch sides. Right arm high. Exhale over to the left. Same thing, easing into it. Really root that right sit bone down. Maybe you press the left fingertips away to puff into the ribs on the right side. And then one long line from the right fingertips all the way down to the right sit bone. And then inhale back up to center. Bring both arms up to the sky. As you exhale, start to bring your left hand forward, right hand behind you, a little twist to the right. Maybe you have your right fingertips behind you on the mat. You can press into the floor to keep the spine long so that the spine is on a long line as we rotate around that center pole. And then that left hip will want to sneak forward. So wrap it back in line. One more breath here. And then inhale back through center. Exhale, opposite side. Right arm forward, left arm back. Take your time getting into the twist. With every inhale, think of lengthening the spine. With every exhale, a little twist deeper, possibly. Again, wrap that right sit bone back. Or sorry, hip bone, not sit bone. And then inhale back to center. Shake it out a little bit. And then make your way to hands and knees. So eventually sitting up with knees underneath your hips. Toes can be tucked or untucked. Hands probably outer shoulder width apart or wider. Will give you quite a bit more space for the shoulders. And then as you inhale, lift your tailbone to the sky. Hollow through the lower back. Wrap the shoulder blades toward each other. Exhale, round through your spine. Really press the floor away. Inhale to slowly dip the belly, wrap the shoulder blades toward each other. Exhale. So now that our hips aren't pinned on the floor, we're probably getting quite a bit more range of movement through cat and cow. And if there's any other natural movement that would feel really good, feel free to go where you would like to go. Last two breaths here. And then come back to center. Little draw your belly button to your spine. Not bracing, but just there's that little bit of lift. And then I want you to cross your right hand in front of the left hand and start to send your hips back. So they'll still be lifted up. You're not going to go all the way down. And then maybe let the head release. Feeling that long line now through the right side of the body. Getting into the triceps, the lats, multifidus, QL. And then inhale, come back to center, and then cross the left hand in front of the right, send your hips back. Same thing on the opposite side. I say the same thing, it might feel totally different. And then inhale, come back to center. Little wiggle of the hips side to side. Make sure the hands haven't migrated back to the center line, so keep them nice and wide. And tuck your toes. On your exhale, lift the hips up and back into downward facing dog. Bend your knees, pedal the heels toward the floor, alternating. One knee bent and then the other. If you'd like to get even a little bit deeper into the calves, maybe scooch that right foot in a little bit more toward the center, and then pick up the left foot, cross it behind the right ankle or calf. Just getting a little bit deeper into that right calf group. And then we'll switch sides. Left foot down. You play with the knee more deeply bent or heel toward the floor. And then come back to both feet. Bend the knees a little bit more. Start to shift your sit bones back. Feel the upper arm bones hug toward each other. And then as you inhale, ripple forward, come to high plank. Now for me, I like to adjust the length of my stance. So I have a longer stance here. You could be on your toes or on your knees, whatever feels better for you. But a couple breaths here. Squeeze your bum, squeeze the tops of the thighs. And then exhale, come all the way down to the earth. Little wiggle of your hips from side to side. Untuck your toes and press the tops of the feet into the floor. So much so you feel your kneecaps lift away from the earth. Send your tailbone to the back wall. Feel your belly button engage toward your spine. And then interlace your hands behind your head. So I'm going to demonstrate this from knees. You're going to imagine that I'm on my belly with the forehead probably on the floor rather than the chin, and hands interlaced behind the head, not behind the neck and not on top. Wrap your elbows away from the floor, little drop, belly button to spine, and then you think of lifting the heart forward so that the head starts to press into the hands. So it's a very small lift. You're not using the hands to press down, you're just using them as a weight. And then as you exhale, lower back down. So a few of these on your own time, on your own breath. And the idea with interlacing the hands behind the head is that it helps you keep the back of the neck long. So much in our life, we lead with our chin or our eyes, and that puts a lot of strain on the muscles of the neck. So one more breath here. Bring your hands back underneath your shoulders or by your low ribs. Tuck your toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then bend your knees, look forward. Take as many steps as you need to come into standing forward fold. Feet hip width apart. Bend the knees a lot to start with. You might clasp opposite elbows with hands. Could sway a little bit from side to side. If the arms are crossed, take opposite crossing. And then release your hands with fingertips to your shins or blocks or the earth. Inhale, little partway lift, belly button to spine. Exhale, let it all go. Couple more just like that. Bend your knees, head heavy, arms heavy. Slowly start to roll up to standing. One vertebra at a time, slow as you need to go. Until eventually you come all the way up. Couple loops of your shoulders, up, back, and down. Little noodle release, whatever you need to do to release. Welcome. Okay, feet hip width apart-ish. Little draw of belly button to spine. And on your inhale, sit down into chair pose. So hips back, tailbone down slightly till you feel your belly button engaged toward your spine. And then as you inhale, bring your arms to cactus. So elbows more or less in line with the shoulders. Couple breaths here, wrap the shoulder blades toward each other. And then we're going to start to move in chair pose. You can shift side to side. You can start to move the upper body, rounding forward or to the side. You might lift up, but keep the legs in chair pose the whole time. Last breath here. And then inhale, come all the way up to standing. Shake it out again, little wiggle. Whew. And then send your weight over to your right foot. So bend the knee on that supporting leg. The more, when that knee is bent, helps the glutes activate, and it sounds kind of strange, but such is the case. And then pick up your left leg. And we're just going to do some easy pulses here. So just pulses of the supporting leg. And then kick the heel to the bum, lean forward, keep the pulses going. And then bring that knee forward again, slow it down. I'm going to switch to the side view. Inhale here. As you exhale, reach the left leg back, left arm comes forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reach. So that supporting leg, the knee can bend and straighten. Last couple of breaths here. It's super wobbly, super shaky. So if you're falling out, don't worry about it. And the next time that you reach all the way back, pause there. Okay, bring your arms back to cactus. And then you can kind of stay in this scarecrow version of warrior 3. You might choose to move though. Inhale here, exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back up. Exhale to the left. Couple more, once more each side. Inhale, back to center. And then like a ninja, bring that lifted leg all the way forward and through, knee high. Whew. Okay, inhale here. Exhale, knee out to the side. And back. And out. And back. And out. Pause here. Okay, a little draw of belly button to spine. We're going to go into tree pose. So maybe that's the foot to the upper inner thigh. Maybe it's to the calf below the knee. Maybe it's toes to the floor, sole of the foot pressing into your ankle. You just don't want it right against your knee. Whoops. So wherever you need to go for tree, press your foot into your leg into your foot, squeeze the bum, belly button to spine, and then maybe you grow your branches up to the sky. If you're feeling wobbly, then you can roll with it, right? Trees are meant to sway in the breeze, right? You have to be flexible, otherwise it will break. Last option, left hand comes to the thigh, right arm reaches higher, exhale, little side bend over to the left. Inhale, back up, pick up that left knee, and exhale, step it down. Shake it out a little bit. Sometimes it feels good to kind of release into the right butt with your fist. I don't know, it's weird. Send all the weight to your left leg, buoyancy on that supporting knee, and then pick up the right leg. And then we'll just get those pulses going again. Lean forward, kick the heel back to the bum. Come back forward again, slow the pulses down. Inhale, lift that right knee high. Exhale, right leg reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Inhale, back up. Exhale, reach. So a few of these kind of running man pulses. stride asana. Last breath here. On your exhale, reach back, pause there. Keep that knee bent, bottom knee bent, elbows to cactus. And you might stay here or inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Right, it's wobbly, it's shaky, it's okay. And then belly bend to spine, draw that lifted knee all the way forward and through, knee high. I'm going to turn to face you again. Oh, sometimes one side is more challenging than the other, and if so, congratulations. You're human. Inhale here, exhale out and back. Or switch the breathing. Actually, it feels better to exhale on the in, and then pause with the knee out. And again, anywhere along that supporting leg that you want to bring the foot, you can even bring the toes on top of the foot. Press your foot into your leg into your foot, squeeze the bum, belly button to spine, and start to grow your branches up to the sky. You can mess with your gaze if you're feeling too steady. Either change the point of focus or close the eyes. Last option, right hand to the thigh, lift the left arm higher. Exhale, little side bend to the right. Inhale, back up. Pick that knee up. And exhale, set it down. Whew, little wiggle or shake, release however you need to. Okay, send the weight back over to the right leg. Little bit more balancing. And then we'll bring it down, I promise. Belly bend to spine. Pick up the left knee. And then I want you to cross the left ankle over top of the right thigh. Not too far across, just the ankle. And then sit your hips down and back. So hopefully now you're feeling a release into the left butt while we're working the right. This is a beautiful place to stay. Nice flex on that left foot. You might fold a little bit more forward. Maybe you bring your forearms to your shin. You could reach to the floor if you want. Maybe you fly. But the more you send your hips down and back, the more you're going to feel that into the glutes on the left side. Inhale, come all the way back up, unwind a leg, shake it out a little bit. And then we'll switch sides. Weight goes over to the left leg, belly bend to spine, pick up the right leg, cross the ankle over top of the thigh, and sit the hips down and back. And belly bend to spine. This is a beautiful place to stay. Again, if you want to deepen it, go where you would like to go. Otherwise, stay here with me. Make sure that left hip isn't rotating forward. Drop back in line. Last couple of breaths here. And then slowly inhale. Come all the way back up. Shake it out a bit. Inhale the arms high. Flip your palms skyward. Grab hold of the right wrist with the left hand. Lift taller. Exhale over to the left. Send your hips to the right. Little draw of belly bend to spine. You might scoop that bottom shoulder under and maybe look up. And then inhale back to center. Switch the grip. Lift tall. Exhale over to the right. Hips to the left. Inhale back to center. Release. Shake it out. And inhale the arms to the sky. Exhale, forward fold. Couple breaths here. You can bounce or sway, but hopefully you're feeling even more release into the glutes, into the hamstrings. Fingertips to shins. Inhale, a little partway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, plant your hands, come back to hands and knees, and then shift your hips to one side, swing your legs forward, and shake them out. Okay. Whew. Let's do a similar position to what we were doing standing, but this time you don't have to obviously stabilize with the one side, so it's more of a stretch. Right shin forward, left shin to the side. This is 90-90. If you'd prefer to take pigeon prep, then you're welcome to sweep that back leg or the left leg back and behind you, and then get curious about where you would like to go. Right? Maybe it feels really good to come forward over top of that front shin today. Maybe you want to go over top of the thigh. Maybe you want to twist. So go wherever you need to go for a few breaths. Once you've found somewhere that feels great, or at least interesting, then pause, right? Settle. If you have props, you can prop them underneath your forehead. Last breath here. And slowly, on your inhale, press yourself back up, sweep the left leg forward, and then the right leg out to the side. When you're ready, we'll switch to the opposite side. So again, wherever you need to go for the stretch, right, as gentle or as deep as you would like. One thing that I really like about this 1990 stretch versus pigeon, one is everybody teaches pigeon. So it's nice to do something different, but also this side leg, or the back leg as it would be in pigeon, is an internal rotation in 1990, whereas in pigeon, it's in neutral, which has its benefits, but internal rotation is something that we don't do a lot of in yoga, or really in life, so it's an interesting position to work. Last few breaths here. And then slowly inhale, press yourself back up. Sweep your legs forward, shake them out a little bit. And then however you want to come down onto your back, make your way there, whether you're using your hands, whether you do sort of a Pilates roll down. And then hug your knees into your chest. Little rock from side to side. Massage out the base of the spine or the pelvis. Right, a couple more breaths here, just moving however you need to move. And then bring your feet to the floor, hip width apart, parallel-ish, close enough into your bum that you can tickle your heels with your fingertips. Press your feet into the floor, and as you inhale, start to peel your pelvis, your spine up and away into bridge. It could be a really gentle bridge. Maybe you lift a little bit higher. Some of you I know will walk onto the outside edge of your shoulders, maybe clasp your hands behind your back. Still others might choose to take wheel for a few breaths, wherever you need to go. One more inhale. One sweet exhale. And then slowly start to unwind, roll back down. Take your feet mat width apart. Let the knees hang in toward each other. A few breaths here. And then draw your knees in toward your chest again. Little rock from side to side. And then take your knees wide out toward your shoulders or armpits. And this is a lovely place to stay. Maybe you kick your feet to the sky for happy baby. You can grab the backs of the thighs, outside of the legs, the ankles, or the feet. Try to send your sit bones to the front wall rather than up to the sky. And then Anything else you feel like you need before your rest? Posture, meditation, breath work, whatever you would like to do. When you're ready, finding that pose of rest. You could be flat on your back, legs bent or straight. You could rest on your side or in child's pose, wherever works for you. Well, there's no rush to get there, but once you've found your pose of rest, for 3 breaths, inhale through your nose. Exhale, sigh. Your breath away. A couple more. With each exhale, let your body melt a little bit deeper into the earth. Let go of all breath control, all muscle tension or gripping, especially in your face or your jaw. Stay here longer if you can, 5 or 10 minutes. Thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.